Hey, my name is Kathy, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about 3 books that I read recently. I'll probably title this video like August Wrap Up Part 2. We are 3 weeks into August as I'm filming this currently. In the previous video, which would be August Wrap Up Part 1, I talked about 4 books. After reading Drama Queen by Sarah Gibbs, which is up there, which is the last book that I talked about in that video, I got into a bit of a slump because that book was so good that just everything else that I tried seemed to pale a bit by comparison. It's called a book hangover sometimes, and yeah. So I got into a bit of a slump, hence why we're 3 weeks into August and I haven't read like that many books this month in comparison to how many I usually read. But I did manage in the past week or so ish. Well, either way, I did manage to read 3 books. As in the past 2 weeks. Yeah, anyway. In the past while to read these 3 books, and interestingly they're all hardcovers, which is unusual. I usually read more paperbacks, but anyway, they're also the same size, which is nice. Anyway, that's let me just get into it. We have one non-fiction book that's an essay collection. We have 2 middle grade books. Both are contemporary fiction. One is like a textbook and the other is written in verse. Let's just get into it. As usual, timestamps will be in the description of the video. So the first book is The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. This is an essay collection. This says here, Essays on the Human-Centered Planet. And before I started this, I wasn't entirely sure what this was going to be like. I did see some other booktubers talk about this book. Here is the synopsis for, anyway, let's read it. Also, I like this, and this has got a nice cover. Anyway, I was able to buy this as a signed edition. This was, I found it in like an outlet sale, and I heard good things about it, and I really like this. So these are various essays about various things. It's got lots of humor. If you know John Green from his Vlogbrothers videos, he's also written young adult contemporary fiction. I have read some of those. They are up there, behind there somewhere. I like some of his books more than others. Anyway, I really like this. Like I said, the subjects are very varying, and it's actually based on a podcast he did. Now, I can't listen to podcasts. I don't know if that's something I've mentioned in a video. I have mentioned it to a couple of people in comments. With my auditory processing difficulties, that is just not something that I can do without it costing me a tremendous amount of energy. When I watch TV or a movie, actually I haven't been able to watch a movie for months, but if there is subtitles for like YouTube videos or like a TV show episode, I will always turn them on. Podcasts generally don't have subtitles, and I can't lip read because there is usually no video footage. So on occasion there are a few podcasts that do transcripts, in which case I can read the text. That's very helpful. Anyway, I'm rambling already, sorry. So yeah, these are about a variety of things. I found it very interesting. Some essays I found more interesting than others. Obviously John Green is American, so some essays were about like, so I learned quite a few things from this book as well that I didn't know yet. Other things I did, it also made me look into some things more. And it's called The Anthropocene Reviewed, because like at the end of each essay, he does say like I give this so many stars, with this being the subject of, like, depending on what it is that is the theme of the essay. This is a relatively new book, I think. Was it published in 2021? So there is mention in here. Oh, sorry. I hope we're in roughly the same position. So there is mention in here of the pandemic and also other pandemics, and COVID-19. So if that is something well, that you need a contact warning for, there you go. I like this read, and it was also like the first thing I could read after like not being able to read anything for a while. I'm pretty sure it was like over a week or something. Anyway, so yeah, I like this. I'm sorry that I'm not the best person to describe books, and the essay is about such like varying topics that it's hard for me to describe. So if you're interested, well, I'm pretty sure it mentions some of the subjects in this content. Some of the subjects are more like lighthearted and fun, and other subjects are like definitely more like serious, important topics in today's world. So yeah, anyway, I really like this. The next book I picked up is Both Can Be True by Jules. Machias. This is a middle grade book. It says here ages 8 to 12. Here is the synopsis. Although it also says something here on the back. You can read that. This is a middle grade contemporary fiction. We follow 2 points of view. So the first one is Ash, and some days Ash feels 100% a girl, and other days Ash feels like a guy. So this has LGBTQ plus representation. We start off the book with Ash needing to pee and not being sure of which bathroom to use. The other point of view that we follow is Daniel, and he loves dogs. He's very emotional and quick to cry. He has a lot of feelings. He works in a dog kennel, I think, and like everybody says that he is too sensitive. One day Daniel rescues a dog from being euthanized, and like their lives kind of intersect when Ash offers help. Yeah, so this is about like coming of age and like gender norms and stereotypes in society. It's about dog love, which I love dogs, so yeah, I really liked part of it. Ash has synesthesia, so when they hear sounds, they see that as like a visual illustration, which is interesting because synesthesia is not something that you see often in books. I think I have a few more on my TBR. I have that. So every now and then in the book there is like an illustration that Ash has made, like usually based on a sound they're hearing, or some music or something like that. But there is an illustration of the dog later on. I also love this cover. Anyway, I really like this book. So we follow those 2 perspectives. We alternate. So chapter 1 is from Ash's perspective, and chapter 2 from Daniel's, and then chapter 3 from Ash again, etc. etc. And yeah, there's also definitely like family issues in here. So Ash's parents, like one of their parents is supportive of them, and the other one less so. So their dad is no. And their mum is more supportive. And Daniel too has issues with his family in that his dad has moved out. So he lives with his mum and his twin brother, who is called Mitchell. So they both have a lot on their mind. Something's going on. Anyway, I really liked this book. Yeah. I really liked all three of the books that I'm discussing in this video. I can't remember who told me about this book or where I heard about it. I'm sure I've watched some booktube video that mentioned it, or maybe a blog post or Goodreads review or something from somebody that I follow. But yeah, great LGBTQ plus representation. On voices as well, I believe, because the author uses they them pronouns. So, but yeah, anyway, here's their bio. They also love dogs, and yeah, there's also bullying content warning in this book. So Ash has moved to a like a new area with a new school, because at their previous school they were bullied for like not fitting neatly into the gender box of like girl. I think he found out relatively early on that their ex-boyfriend well, bullying anyway. Yeah. But so like some days or periods of time Ash feels more like they're a girl, and other times boy. Yeah, anyway, so I really like this book. I'm sorry if I'm not being like able to. Yeah, I'm just telling you my thoughts, and sometimes it is difficult, particularly if I really like a book. I always find it easy if I didn't like a book to usually give specific reasons for that, whereas when I just really like a book, I find that harder. Thirdly, I read Starfish by Liza Fipps, or Liza Fipps. I read this yesterday. I watched a video from a booktuber who had just read this book by Lady Lovestead Read, link to the channel down below. She talked about this book, and I already had it on my channel TBR. I heard about it from other people before, which is why I bought it. But anyway, she really made me want to start this, and I had to pick a new read anyway, so I picked this. Anyway, so yeah, Starfish by Liza Fipps. This book is written in verse. It is also a middle grade book. It doesn't say the age range on here, but here is the synopsis. Here's the back. So this book is about Ellie, and Ellie loves swimming. She loves her dog. She is bullied for being fat, so at school, but also her mother and brother. She also has a sister and a father. Sorry if you notice that lighting changed. My computer, which is like behind the camera, just went on like a blank screensaver thing. So sorry about that if the lighting changed. So this book is written in verse, and this is a kind of coming of age, coming into your own book about a fat girl. So a content warning for bullying and fat phobia. But as a fat person, I loved reading this. Also, Ellie's friend, her best friend, is in the beginning of the book is moving to another place. I think her parents are getting divorced. Her name is Viv. So Ellie is then a bit more like on her own. Obviously, her best friend was also neighbors, so her best friend moves out, but she gets new neighbors, and that's a really nice family. So she becomes friends with this girl called Catalina, new neighbor girl. They're of the same age. Ellie loves swimming as well, which is just really nice. The pool, I think she has a pool in her garden from whatever, yeah, she has a pool there's a pool in their garden. Their mother is a real piece of work, let me tell you that. Her mother is Ellie's mother, yeah, and also her brother. Her dad is nice though. At some point, and I don't know that's it happens a bit later in the book, Ellie starts seeing a therapist, which was, well, you know, which I also really liked, and just this was written in verse, and I just loved this. Like as a fat person, just like fat kids should read this if they want to. Yeah, very good messages, very important messages. It's also own voices. The author went through a similar thing when she was growing up. There is an author's note at the back, and yeah, I love this. So our main character is white. The new neighbor family, they are Mexican, and they were a very like wholesome family who were very nice to Ellie when her own family isn't. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I love this. Yeah, so yeah, those were the 3 books that I read recently. I don't know what else I'll be reading. There are still more days in August. I have a buddy read planned with Emily from Novel Novels. We're reading the 4th Percy Jackson book, but I don't have that here in this room with me. It's downstairs. So I'll definitely be reading that, but I don't know what else. I have to see how it goes. I don't feel like I'm completely out of my slump yet, but we will see. But anyway, these were all really good reads. Like out of these, my favorite is Starfish, but it's, yeah, I really liked all 3 of these, and it's also kind of hard to compare because they're kind of like different books, because this one's non-fiction and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I hope the lighting was okay. I'm filming this early in the morning because really I want to let some cooler air in soon, so I will do that, because it's been very warm here, and once the sun gets too much there, I just have to shut the shutter. I have no curtains, because otherwise it will just be even hotter. The camera shut off, so that happened. Yeah, so I had a busy day yesterday, so I'm feeling quite worn out. Also, reading Starfish yesterday was great because I was visiting family, and at some point there was a fatphobic conversation, so it was really nice to then after that read this book and feel a bit more loved, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm really glad a book like this is out there now. When I was of this age, there weren't any books like this. Although I have to say, disclaimer, when I was a young girl, I wasn't fat. That came later in my life when I had to take certain medication for a while. Anyway, either way, I was bullied, but for like other reasons. which I feel like bullies can, if bullies want to bully, they're going to find reasons. Like, it doesn't matter, they'll bully you anyway. That's how I always felt. So, yeah. At least, no matter how hard I tried, I never fit into, like, the mold of, well, normal. Which I don't think is a great word to use, but anyway. I always felt like, no matter what I do, the bullies are going to bully me anyway. Because nothing that I tried worked. So, yeah. Anyway. That's a bit of a downer, but I'm sorry, you can maybe tell I had a really busy day yesterday, and so sensory overload. I'm autistic, and I am ADD, and so I need to rest today. But I thought I'll talk about these books while I can still remember things about them, because like the longer I wait after reading a book, especially if I read many other books after, and then I don't remember as much. Well, I'll close off this video now. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you're doing well. Leave a comment and or a like if you like. I really like reading those comments. Speaking of which, sometimes I get not so very nice comments, and they have been related to my size before. Which, like, just like the character Ellie says in Starfish, like, do they really think I don't know what I look like? Yeah. Anyway, Starfish was such a wholesome book with a great message. Yeah. I'm rambling. Sorry about that. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!